Hello everybody, my name is Chris Gorgeous with ASL Basics. Today is going to be part 2 in our new series, 100 Signs You Need to Know. Today is going to be all about foods, drinks, and places to eat and stuff like that. Let's get started and learn the basics. As I mentioned, today is actually part 2 of the new series, 100 Signs You Need to Know. Part 1, if you had missed it, was all about how to start a conversation with introductory phrases such as hello, how are you, my name is, what is your name, where are you from, a lot of phrases like that. So if you've missed that, you can actually click on the card up above or catch it down in the description down below, and you can rewatch that. Or even if you have already watched it, I would actually really encourage you to review that just so it really sticks in your mind better. And just like last week's video, I will have timestamps for all the signs I will be showing you today. So if you're going back and reviewing this video, you will be able to just click on that timestamp and it'll take you directly to the sign that you're looking to review. And throughout today's lesson, remember to shadow what you see, which means copying the signs as I'm signing them, to watch this video more than once, and to also share this video with somebody that you know so you're able to practice what you learn with somebody in person. And if you're new to learning sign language and you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe and also check out some of my other previous lessons where I teach the alphabet and the numbers, animals, and other basics like that. And be sure to stick around until the end, because after I teach you the 25 signs, I'll give you a couple bonus signs, but I'll also help you start building sentences on your own. So we'll go over some sample sentences, and I'll review a little bit more of the ASL grammar, sentence structure, and syntax. So let's get right into it. The first sign that we're going to be learning today is hungry. You make a C hand shape and you put it right here and it goes down your chest like this. Hungry. The next sign is eat. You just make a flattened O hand shape and you bring it to your mouth like you're going to eat. Eat. Next is food, which is actually signed the same way as eat. Eat or food. You might be thinking, well, how do you differentiate between the two? Well, there really are two ways that most people will do this. Typically, someone will just mouth the word that they're talking about. So for eat, eat, or for food, food. Another way somebody might differentiate between eat and food is by pointing. I'll show you real quick. So eat or food. You would point to the thing that you're eating, which is food. Next is hamburger. So you can just picture yourself having a hamburger patty in your hands and you're flipping it back and forth. Hamburger. The next sign is pizza. This is signed two different ways. The first way is like this. Pizza for the double Z's. Pizza. Or the other way is to pretend that your hand is a slice of pizza like this. Pizza. Pizza or pizza. So for taco, you make a taco shell with your one hand and you have all the stuff that you're going to put it in the other, and you make a taco. Taco. The next sign is candy, and you just do this. It's kind of like you're pointing and twisting at your sweet tooth at the same time. Candy. Just as a disclaimer, I would avoid using that particular sign if you're in Mexico. In Mexican Sign Language, that means a very different thing. One more food to satisfy that sweet tooth is cookie. You just lay out one hand like this, you make a crooked 5 hand shape with the other, and you do this. For cookie. Cookie. Now moving on to something a little healthier, we will learn the sign for apple. So you make the X hand shape and you put it near your cheek and you twist. For apple. So the next sign, egg, you just pretend that you're cracking an egg. Egg. The next sign is restaurant. You just make the R hand shape and you go down your chin on both sides for restaurant. I'm sure most of us, when we go out to a restaurant, we eat too much. So the sign for full, at least in the context of I'm full of food, is like this. You're just filled up. So now that we have all the foods out of the way, now we're going to move on to drinks. So if you remember, the sign for hungry was like this. The sign for thirsty is like this. You just run your finger down your throat. I'm thirsty. The next sign is drink. You make the C hand shape, you bring it up to your mouth. and you drink. The next sign is soda. You just do this. You make a fist over here, you put your middle finger down, and it goes out and on top for soda pop or for soda. The next sign is milk. For this one, you can just kind of think that you're milking a cow. You stick out your hand and you squeeze like this. Milk. The next sign is water, which is actually really easy to sign and really easy to remember. You just make the W hand shape for water, you bring it to your chin, and you tap. Water. The final drink sign that we're going to be learning today is coffee. So this, you just pretend that you're grinding beans in a grinder. Coffee. Hang in there, we only have 7 more signs to go. The next one is like. So you just pinch your fingers together like this for like. The sign for dislike, or I don't like that, is the same sign, but you just flick it away from you. Don't like. Don't like. And you want to make sure your facial expression matches the sign. Like, don't like. The next sign is want. You just reach out for what you want and you bring it to you. Want. But on the other hand, if you just need it, you just make the X hand shape and it comes down like this. Need. So the final 3 signs is going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And these are actually signed 2 different ways for each meal. So for breakfast, commonly you will just make a B hand shape and you bring it to your chin like this for breakfast. Lunch, you will make an L hand shape and you tap it on your chin. And for dinner, you make the D hand shape and you tap it on your chin like this. The other way of signing breakfast, lunch, and dinner is like this. Morning food, afternoon food, or night food. And in the beginning, I did mention that I would include a couple bonus signs. So I'm going to show you the sign for both McDonald's and Starbucks. McDonald's is actually really easy because you're going to make the M hand shape with both hands. And think of those golden arches, and you just make the arches with the M's on your hands for McDonald's. The other sign is for Starbucks. So you'll take your 8 hand shape and you'll flick them together like this, kind of like stars or butting heads. Starbucks. And as I promised, I'm going to now help you start building sentences on your own using just the signs that we've learned so far. The first sentence is, I am hungry. How do you think you would sign that? I am hungry. Remember, am is an article which gets omitted in ASL grammar. I am hungry. What about I want to eat? I want to eat. Notice to got dropped again in that sentence. I want eat. And you can even use these smaller sentences to start building bigger sentences. For example, I'm hungry. I want to go eat. And we'll just do 2 quick question sentences. For instance, we can try out, do you want to go out to lunch? You want lunch? And remember the point about the eyebrows from last week? So in question words, if it's a no or a yes response, your eyebrows will be up. You want lunch? Notice how my eyebrows are pointing up. If the question was a little more open-ended, such as, where do you want to go to lunch? Well, that could be anything. That's not a yes or no question. You want eat where? Notice my eyebrows are furrowed down. So if it's a yes or no question, your eyebrows are going to be pointing up. If it's an open-ended question, then your eyebrows are going to be furrowed down. And the more and more we start signing, the easier and easier it will be as we start trying to build these sentences on our own. If you have any questions about ASL grammar at all, feel free to comment down below and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. I really can't oversell the importance of reviewing what we've learned. So if you haven't already, I would highly encourage you to go back to the first video in this series and review it. The more times that we view it, and especially if we're shadowing, we're building muscle memory and we're building those connections in our brains. And over time, the more and more we do something, the more it becomes automatic. And I'll encourage you to do the same thing with this video. After a day or two, come back and rewatch the video, and it's going to solidify what you've learned today. So I gave you a challenge last week to use what you knew to introduce yourself to somebody else. Now this week, I'm going to challenge you again. The challenge is Using the words that we've learned so far, build your own sentence in ASL grammar and post it in the comments. If you're looking to expand your vocabulary even further, I have other lessons that cover basics such as colors, letters, numbers, animals. I have links to all those lessons down below in the description. And if you're up for it, you can even binge through all of my lessons in this playlist up here. And just as a heads up, I do have a couple big announcements coming up on my channel. So if you haven't already, I'd encourage you to subscribe and hit that bell notification. If you're interested in supporting our channel, you can go check out our Patreon page, or you can go check out some of our custom merchandise, such as this stylish shirt, which I admittedly spent way too much time designing this hand. Or we also have some really great resources that are in the description down below that has affiliate links, and clicking those links would actually help us out a great deal. And I just want to thank all of you so much for your generous support so far, and I am so happy to see so many of you learning sign language. And remember to come back next Tuesday for part 3 in 100 signs that you need to know. Until next time, I'll see you later.